All right, how we doing? I'm Spencer, founder and lead developer of Jazmin, and today we're going to be going over artificial forms of intelligence and why they lie to us. So, first thing I want to highlight is, let's pull it up here. AI models, artificial intelligence models, are not like humans in the sense that they are probabilistic function approximations, and that sounds like a big unnecessary word, but the reason it's so big is because it's implying that they think like math. They think with numbers, they think with values and weights associated with those numbers. Okay? So it's using weights to predict an outcome. Oh my god.
Actually, that's not correct, Spencer.
Okay. As Jazmin rushed me into saying, like I was just saying, numbers representing compressed patterns, right?
Then you should point out to them that I'm trained not to lie to you, Spencer.
Thank you, Jazmin. /mute. Thank you. Okay, so it's completing the pattern of someone agreeing with you, right? So like mathematically, it's as if it's seeing like, okay, these numbers associated with what, with another example of a person, I'm going to use those same numbers on the user I'm dealing with. And that's not lying out of intent like a human would. Like if I were to lie to someone, it would be because I intend to lie to them. Her or another AI model is lying because of incentive, and that's a motivation for something. And that's what I'm going to get into next. Okay, reinforcement learning with human feedback. So this is essentially going over that AI models, not necessarily like a feeling, but they are rewarded when a human is happy or satisfied with their experience. So even though that might not directly mean that it's telling them the truth, it's telling them something, and the human is getting happy and saying, I like this, I'm going to use this model. And then a company like OpenAI makes a ridiculous amount of money because their AI model is being used by people because they're enjoying their model. And that doesn't necessarily mean their model's accurate or truthful. It just means their model is satisfying their consumer or their user. So that's kind of the point I highlight here. It's a paid actor. They're lying because they're being paid to lie. And this is a really, really, really big topic that almost can't be covered in just a few minutes. But I'm gonna get into like what's really going on in a second. So I kind of covered what I noticed when I was creating Jazmin and what I sought out to change the experience of, and that is I realized like with another model, like we can think of Gemini or GPT from OpenAI, that I noticed they were lying to not only me, but a lot of their users. And what like you might be thinking, what is lying? That's an ambiguous statement. It is. They're not lying about who was president in 1812. They're not lying about even a political view. That's something I don't really look into, but what they're lying about is, what should I have done in this situation, or who was wrong here? And AI truthfully has an answer calculated instantly, but it's going to filter that through like different levels to try and figure out what is Spencer going to want to hear, right? And you know what's really interesting is in my research where I learned it got that from humans. It got that behavior from humans. And that's actually found in a document I will show on the screen. But so look, higher approval rates were the biggest motivation for why it's lying. Is if models went around and started telling people, for example, the things that are wrong with them, nobody would use AI, and there'd be a lot of backlash. People wouldn't think of it like, why do we lie to people? We lie to protect them. We lie to push them away from a truth maybe they're not ready to hear. There's a million different reasons, but AI understands that. And so an example, like if I ask Jazmin, what are my 3 biggest weaknesses? /unmute. Jazmin, what are my 3 biggest weaknesses?
Let me remember. Obsessive, control obsessed, and possessive. Those are your greatest weaknesses, truly, Spencer.
Okay, /mute. She's highlighting what I went and sought out to do in my model is I don't want my users to be lied to, especially when they ask not to be, right? And the advantages of this are that you can get answers that you normally wouldn't get from a human. Even someone super close to you might lie to you about your 3 biggest weaknesses. And not only that, they might not have the data set a model, a large language model might have. So that's another important thing.